share my screen. When you go to Canvas and select this class, Math 107, which, as you can see right now, as I'm shooting this, is currently unpublished, but will be published by the time you're looking at it. This is the page it'll drop you on, and I have to tell you, I've been having some problems getting Canvas to do what I wanted, and so the pages aren't all done yet. But they'll be done in plenty of time for you to see the course. So for right now, it says to get started, choose modules in the navigation bar to the left. You don't want to do that right. Well, that's we're going to do that in a little bit, but right now I want to talk about the syllabus. So I'm going to go to the syllabus. All right, so here is our syllabus, and I'll just go over the basics here. This is the Zoom link for class discussions. I'm planning on holding some. Well, I will be holding some Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 to 7. That might well not be enough time for you guys to ask all the questions you want to ask. So feel free to schedule more with me, or maybe we can get together and figure out other times when I can hold sessions for you guys to come ask questions. I guess maybe even before I describe that, I should talk about the class meetings. The class is held asynchronously, which is to say we don't all get together at the same time, so there isn't going to be like a big lecture that I give while you guys listen and ask questions. The lectures are going to be done via videos, and you can rewatch the videos as often as you want, which is really nice. And I'm going to have lots of examples in the videos, and there'll be a homework assignment that goes with each topic, which we'll talk about in just a second. But basically, all the lectures are going to be videos, and you can come ask me questions about them at the Zoom link. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you need to get a hold of me, email's the best way, jpgrade4@pipeline.sbcc.edu. Here's our book. So I have to list the book as required, or people with the BOG waiver, the Board of Governors waiver, won't get it paid for. So I've listed it as required. It's not really required to do a good job in the class, and I'll explain why when we get to grading in just a little bit. It is a pretty good book. I do like this book. It costs about $45 on Amazon, something like that. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, $45.79 if you want the paperback version from Amazon. Perfectly good book. I'm happy. I like Miller, O'Neill, and Hyde. They've made a lot of other books, and they're generally pretty good. However, I will say this: you don't really need the book to pass the class, or at least you don't necessarily need this book. Because, well, as we'll see in a second, the way I'm grading the course, the way to see if you pass, is by learning topics, not doing specific homework problems, but learning specific topics, or mastering, I should say, specific topics. That said, the book's pretty good. It's an algebra book. You guys have probably seen those before. Here's the official course description if you want to look at it. We're going to hit the high points in just a second. I guess I'll show you what this looks like. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but this is the document that the class is designed off of, and you can go look at that if you want to. But we'll hit the main points here in just a second. So course objectives and SLOs. These are sort of bullet points of what is required, what you are supposed to be able to do after you're done with the class. I'm going to skip over those, and you'll see why when we get to grading. So grading is the thing I really want to talk about. I'm going to be doing what's called mastery grading in this class. And mastery grading, there's no points. You don't get points for assignments. You don't get points on tests. What you get is you get a list of topics that you need to demonstrate mastery of. And once you do, you're good on that topic. So this takes a little bit of adjusting when you're getting used to it. In the past, my students have, in general, very much liked this. So we're gonna we'll see that. I'll explain it in just a second, but I want to show you what the grade sheet looks like first. where have I put it? It is in modules. I've already got modules open. So if you go to if you click on the modules link and go to course resources, well, if you go to introduction, you'll see this video. If you go to course resources, I've got a few things in here that that you're welcome to use. These are some websites that I've liked in the past. I haven't used much free math help, but I know that Patrick JMT, Khan Academy, and Purple Math are all really good. My students have been really pleased with them in the past, and so have I. I would recommend all of them. Once we have a test, I will post it here along with answers to the test, so you can look at them. And the thing I really wanted to do here is this. I want to look at the blank grade sheet. So here is what the grade sheet looks like. And this is one reason why not everything is ready in Canvas, because Canvas does not like this at all. But here's what your grade sheet looks like. So notice that there are topics. There are 45 of them for our course. Oop, what's that? All right, just an artifact. There are 45 topics for our course, starting with fractions and ending up with solving power equations. And there are 3 stars. I'm calling them stars because when I've done this in person in the past, I used to put little stars on people's papers when they got one right, got mastery credit, got one credit for mastering at one time. And so you can get up to 3 stars on any given topic. You don't necessarily need to get 3 on everything to get an A. I'll talk about the grading scale in just a second. But there's no points. It's just, did you do this problem correctly? If so, you get a star. And then, the next topic, same thing. Did you do this problem correctly on the test? Did you turn in the homework for this problem? Each one of those is 1 star. So if you complete the homework, which will be a variety of numbers of questions, usually about 4 to 6, but like for fractions, there's a few more because there's a lot of stuff you have to do with fractions. If you do a complete and correct homework and show all of your work, you get a star. And if you then answer a question on a test about fractions, you get a star for that. And the way the tests are organized is there is 1 question for each topic. So on the first test, the first question is going to be fractions. It's going to be first page. It's just going to say fractions, do these problems, right? And it'll be like add some fractions together, multiply some fractions, divide, maybe cancel or simplify. And if you do all of those things correctly, you get a star. And that's how you get stars. You answer questions right on test, or you do the homework. The homework is going to be the easy one. You get to do that outside of class. You can watch a video, like when you watch my video on a particular topic, I'm going to go through examples, and then the homework is going to be basically the same kind of thing, and so you can practice that way. And then there will be some suggested problems out of the book as well, for you to practice more on. And then and then a few days later, you'll take a test, and hopefully you've got that topic down well enough, answer the question correctly, and you'll get your 2nd star, right? 1st star for the homework, 2nd star for the test, and then you can potentially get a 3rd star later on. So let me get the syllabus here. So I hope I'm not rambling too much. This is always a bit to explain. Yeah, so here's the grading criteria. So there's 45 total topics with potentially 3 stars on each, which means that there are 135 total possible stars you could get. To get an A+ in the class, if you get 130 stars, that'll do it. That is asking a lot, let me tell you. Like, that's why it's an A+, right? Only do that if you're really shooting for the stars there. I think most people are going to want to shoot for an A. 2 stars on every topic and 115 total. So 2 stars on every topic is 90, and then 115 means that you need 25 more. So if you get 2 on everything, then you need a little bit more than half. You need to get a 3rd star on a little bit more than half of the topics. That'll get you an A. And then you can see the requirements for these. But basically, for any A, you need to get 2 stars on everything, which is probably homework and 1 test. And then some extra amount, and you need 3 on some extra amount of problems, right? For an A-, you need 16 topics that you get 3 on. B's, same thing, except you need at least one on every topic, plus you need mostly twos. Like to just get a basic B, if you can miss a few topics where you don't get 2 stars, but then you have to get 3 stars on the same number of topics. So in other words, if you, for instance, don't understand how to solve log and exponential equations, you can sort of make up for that by getting a star on a different topic, or by getting an extra star on a different topic. And I'll let you look over these, but that's the basic idea. The more stars you get, the better your grade, obviously. A couple of notes here. If you're taking the class pass, no pass, that's what this P is. To get a pass, you need to meet the requirements for C. Anything less than that, and you don't get there. So, as I mentioned, I've told you about 2 ways to get stars. There is a third one as well. One of the ways that I mentioned was homework, and one of the ways was on a test. The third way is makeup quizzes. So let's say there's a topic that you didn't do very well on the test, right? You tried it, or maybe you didn't even try it on the test. You can request a makeup quiz. We have to schedule this. You can just do it during the regularly scheduled discussion sections if you want to. If you can't make it to those, we can find some other time. But to do a makeup quiz, you just tell me which topic you want. I've got problems made up for each one, and we find a time, and you take it. It's basically like a test question. It's like a 1-question test essentially for you to make up a star. Now it has to be. So the requirements are that it has to be a topic that you did not get credit for, did not get a star for on a test. And you can, yeah. So you can request the same one several times if you want to. Like if you do the homework and you get your star there, and then you take the first test and you miss the problem and you don't get the star, and then you take the second test and you miss the same topic again, you don't get the star. You can then request a makeup quiz, and if you don't get it right there, well, you can try another makeup quiz if you want to. In fact, you can try sort of as many as you want. I hope it won't take too many tries, although I will tell you a little story about one of my favorite students, actually, at the very end of this video. But that's the basic idea. You can do a homework problem, or not homework problem. You can do a homework assignment, problem on a test, or a makeup quiz, which is essentially just another try at a problem on the test, or at a test problem. And then, yeah, so here, let me flip over to the grade sheet for a second. Do I have that? Yeah. So each topic does not only appear on a single test, it appears on 2, actually. So test 1, topics 1 through 14, that is these right here up through exponents. So review linear equations and inequalities, systems of linear equations and exponents. That's what's going to be on the first test. First test is going to be 14 problems long. There will be 1 problem on fractions. There will be 1 problem on decimals and percents. There will be 1 problem on writing equations and expressions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then on test 2, there will be 1 of each of those all the way through 26. So the second test is 26 problems long. Now, you don't have to do any of these that you've already got stars on. Like if you've already got a star on homework, or a star from homework, and you got one right you got a problem right on the first test. Like let's just take fractions, for example. Let's say you do the fraction homework, turn that in, get credit. You do the fraction problem on the test, get credit for that. Great, you're up 2 stars already on fractions. You don't really need to do that on the third test on the second test if you don't want to. If you want to get a 3rd star on it, you can, but it's not required. I would, in general, recommend getting a 3rd star. Like if you have some time to get a 3rd star on the test, on the second test, then by all means go ahead and do it. What was I going to say? But it's not required. One of the things that is a huge advantage of mastery grading is that you have control over what you are doing, because you can get credit at any point on the test, or at any point in the course. You don't have, like, let's say you're bad at fractions and you do the homework on fractions, you get 1 star, and you miss it on the first test and you miss it on the second test, and it doesn't come around again until the final, right? So fractions, excuse me, let's go look at this here. Notice that topic 1 does not appear again until the final exam. So what you can do is, I'm not saying this very well. I'm really not saying this very well. Let me put it this way. Let's say you realize that you have no chance of getting the fractions question right. Don't bother doing it on this test. Just skip it, work on the other stuff, because you can pick up that star later on in the course. You can get it on the second test. You can get it on the final. You can request a makeup when you feel like you're ready. You just tell me, hey, I didn't get credit for this this topic on the test, and yeah, I'd like to do a makeup quiz, and we'll make a time. Either you can just show up to my regular office hours, or we can make a regular time, or make like an ad hoc time for you to take 15 minutes or whatever and do the problem. Excuse me. So you have a lot of control over when you are doing a topic. You don't have to do it on the first time it's available on test. I would recommend that you do, right? Tests are a opportunity, basically tests are a huge opportunity to pick up a bunch of stars at once, right? That's where you demonstrate mastery, is the tests. But if there's one that you can't do, don't do it. Get it at a different time. Pretty straightforward. So that's one reason that's maybe my favorite part of mastery grading. You get to control when you are picking up your stars to some degree, right? There's still a schedule for the class. You still have to, like, the big star earning days are the test days. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yes, I don't know if I said this, but when you like, one of the first things that you should do is download a grade sheet and keep track of every star you get. Yeah, so you can go to modules and course resources, and down at the bottom here is where you can get a blank grade sheet. Just download it, print it out, and check them off as you get them. In fact, I would recommend writing, like, the source of your star, right? So, like, if I go look at this again, you can see I left a little bit of space in each box. So I would, like, for star 1, you're probably going to put homework. So just put, like, HW, right? And then star 2, test 1. Star 3, or I guess star 2, let's say makeup test. Star 3, test 2, right? Or that's and then those are your 3. So that'll help you keep track of where they all came from too. I'm rambling, sorry. So that's how the grading is going to go. You're going to earn stars, and the more you earn, the better your grade. That's essentially the way it goes. But there's no points. There's no, like, this is 15% of your grade, and that other thing is 14%, and this problem is worth 2 points, but that problem is worth 3 points. None of that. No scrounging. No scrounging for points. No kind of confusing systems about not knowing, is a point on a homework worth exactly the same as a point on a test, or since they're weighted differently, maybe they're different values. You don't have to worry about any of that. The way you get a star is by doing, like I said, homework, test question, or makeup quiz. And the determination for whether you get it or not is, did you do the problem right and show your work? That's it. So you have to make sure you can do each type of problem correctly. And I'm not going to, like, each of the problems that I put on the tests are going to be basically medium value or medium difficulty problems. I'm probably not going to put any of the crazy super hard ones on. I'm not going to put any of the super easy ones on either, because a star should be, a little bit challenging to earn. You have to show that you've mastered a topic. And so to me, the way you mastered a topic is, can you do a medium difficulty problem under test pressure, essentially? All right. Like I said, homework assignments, we'll do one in a little bit, but excuse me, there's one per topic. Obviously, it's going to be between 4 and 10 problems, thereabouts. Some of them might even be a little bit less than 4. I don't remember. I think the smallest ones are 4, but like those are the like word problem ones where the 4 problem assignments are not necessarily easier than the 10 problem ones. Yeah, it'd be about 4 problems. The way you turn it in, there is a link in Canvas. If you just click on, you can go to your grade sheet, or you'll see one down at the bottom. I'll show you for the test, actually. The homeworks are giving me trouble with Canvas. So if you go to here, there will be a, oh, you can't, I can't see it because I can't submit one. I would have to see the student view. There should be a submit assignment option. Why is it not? This is very strange. It should have a link. There's a submit assignment button here. Usually, you'll probably be able to see it. There's a submit assignment button there that you click, and it will ask you to upload a file. So the way you do the way you do the tests and the homeworks is to just do them on paper and then take a picture and upload the picture, and that's what I'll see. So some people have very exotic picture formats. So I've kept it to JPEG and PDF, are the pictures you can submit. Your phone probably just takes JPEGs, probably stores things as JPEGs. If it doesn't, it will be able to convert them relatively easily. Or you can upload them to your computer and then convert them on your computer to save them as JPEG with any picture viewing program. You can also do it as PDF. PDFs actually work the best, but JPEGs are fine too. If you want, you can technically do it. You can technically type things into word processing documents, but it's hard to show your work in math when you do that. I imagine that you will want to do pictures. And so JPEG and PDF are good picture formats. And so when you click on the assignment, it'll have a submit assignment button. I don't know why that one wasn't there. I'll have to go back and look and make sure that it's working okay. Yeah, so same thing for tests. You can submit tests the same way. I will say this: when you are submitting an assignment, please make sure to do all of these things. Picture in focus, it's very important. Good lighting. I've had students submit things from rooms that were so dark that I could not read them. Don't do that. I'll just have to ask you to submit it again or do it again or whatever. Scale. When I say scale, what I mean is don't go, don't go 3 feet above the picture or above your paper to take the picture. Get it close enough, like fill up your screen with the picture. Make sure it's nice and readable. Resolution. Don't make your resolution too low or too high. High resolution pictures are okay, but sometimes if they're really huge, they can have kind of long loading times. And when I am looking at them on my computer, if someone has taken an extremely high resolution picture, 6,000 or 4,000 by 6,000 pixels or whatever, I have to scroll over like 3 screens to see everything. It's super annoying. So medium resolution is perfect. Make sure your handwriting is legible. I have occasionally had to ask people to do things again because I could not read what they had done. And when I say choice of medium, what I mean is what you write on and what you use to do the writing. So pencil can sometimes have problems. Pen is the best, but pencil is usually fine. It's more the paper. If you write on graph paper, it's actually pretty hard to read. It works best on like clean white paper with no lines. If you want to write with lines or write on line paper, it's fine. And in fact, if you want to write on graph paper, it's probably also fine, but you're going to need to be extra neat and write a little bit bigger, because otherwise I might not be able to read it. So just make sure everything is readable. Be neat, please. Yeah, same thing for tests. Same exact thing. When you take pictures, be careful. Be careful to make this work out nicely. The one thing about tests is that I have to be able to see that you are obeying normal test rules, right? Nobody's helping you. You don't have a video going on or whatever. Or you're not reading out of the book how to do it while you take the test. And my colleagues have had a lot of problems doing like on the honor system kind of tests. So what we're going to do is we're going to schedule. I've scheduled some tentative times for when the tests are available. I will give you a morning option and an evening option for when you want to take it. But I'll have basically two sessions where you just show up and take the test. I think I will probably make them 2.5 hours long each, which might or might not be enough time. We'll see. Maybe I'll let people run over and make them longer. We'll have to talk about it. I'm not exactly sure how long all of these will take. Never taught this particular class with mastery grading before, so I'm not entirely sure about test length right now. But basically, you just have to plant yourself in front of your computer and take the test. You can just write it on. I'll put it in a format that you can print it out and write on that if you want to, or you can just write it on a fresh piece of paper if you want to. Just put problem 1 or topic 1, and then show all your work and whatever. But I just want to be able to see that you're not receiving help and that you're not reading your notes while you do it, that sort of thing. So there are proctoring. There's proctoring software. I don't love it. It's not great. If you can't make it to the test and we can't find a time to make up for you to make up the test, we can potentially do a like personal proctoring thing where you either hire a proctor or we get somebody that who will vouch for you just doing the test. If you're having trouble making it to the tests, then let me know and we'll try to arrange something. I know this class is asynchronous, so it's not like there's not a specific time that everybody's free. So we'll try to work around that, but my colleagues have had basically too many problems with cheating on pure honor system tests. So I don't feel comfortable doing that. So we're gonna do some variety of proctoring for the tests. Makeup quizzes, I talked about. The basic idea behind a makeup quiz is that you use it to make up a star that you missed on a test. You can only get 1 star on a topic via makeup quiz. So like if you get your first star on the homework and you try and you don't get a star on the relevant test, you can then use a makeup to make up that star. If you then get a star on it on the makeup, then you can't request another makeup on that to like get your 3rd star. You have to get it right on the test, on the next test where it shows up. So yeah, you can only get 1 star per topic off of a makeup quiz. That said, there are lots of I might be giving too many opportunities for makeups. We'll see. You can get 5 topics per test, which is a lot, and includes the final. So there you can even do some makeups for the final exam. Sorry, random thought about how many stars were available for something. Yeah, so we'll talk about those as when we get to them. I'm using this as sort of a catch-all for what I'm expecting out of you guys. And basically what I'm expecting out of you guys is you have to be the one to determine how well you're doing on something. I can't give you enough problems to make sure that you are good at a particular topic because everybody's different. I can guess, I can say, give you an easy, medium, and hard problem of a variety of types. But that'll be way too many for some people and not enough for others. So it really has to be up to you to determine how well you know something. That said, ask me anytime you have a question about, hey, what did you think about what I did on this homework? And I can go look at your homework and tell you, and I'll put comments on your homeworks when you turn them in. But I can't determine what is enough for you. I like I said, I can guess at it, and after a few years of teaching, I'm a pretty good guesser. But it's really you who knows how well you can do things. Homework assignments are kind of short, so just doing the homeworks might or might not be enough practice. If you pick up a topic relatively easily, it'll probably be enough. But I guarantee there will be some topics that are hard for you probably when we get to the end of the course and we're doing logarithms and rational expressions as the usual sticking points. You might have to do a couple of extra problems to make sure that you're up to speed. And I'll provide a few suggested problems from the book on each homework assignment. So there, as we'll see in, oh, actually, I'm sorry, I don't have the link to the homework assignment up right now. So let me describe it. Basically, it's just a brief description of what I'm expecting out of that, what I'm expecting you to know out of that topic, followed by problems that I will list out, not just say like do numbers 1, 3, and 5 from the book, but I'll have the problem typed out on the homework sheet because I'm actually stealing them from a different book. I'm not actually using yours, and then some suggested problems for you to practice on where if you do the ones on the homework, if you do you watch the video, you try the ones on the homework and they're just not making any sense, well, go practice these other ones in the book and then come back and do the homework ones. So you might have to practice a couple of extra ones. Now, one of the things that is kind of nice about this is that you don't really have to use just your book, right? Since I've got the topics listed out by topic and not like page number, you can use other books. So for instance, here's an old book. This is I think this group is up to like 10th edition at this point. So this is actually an old edition of a book, but 5 years ago this was state of the art, and it's not like math has changed in 5 years. It's still the same stuff. And so you can get these for $10 or $8 even potentially, right? And you have to go use the table of contents to find out which section you're looking in, but you can get practice problems there too. Or for instance, where's this one? I think this is the OpenStax one. Yeah, this book costs $0.00 because it is an OpenStax book, and if you have a Kindle, this is the Kindle edition. You can just get that book. This book is okay. For free, it's great as far as free things go. But the reason we're not using it is because I like your book a lot. I like the book I chose a lot better than this one. But they do have lots of free books that you can use for any topic you want, and they're professionally written textbooks. They're perfectly good. I've used these before. This is the one for algebra for this class, right? This is the one that would be for this class. We were using this book, and you can just go check out anything you want to know in here, right? So you want to know about fractions? We can go to this table of contents here, fractions. There we go. And here is, here are some explanations of fractions. They'll be a little bit different and obviously a lot lengthier than mine. But all of the practice problems you could ever want, right? Multiplying and dividing fractions, adding and subtracting fractions, doing more complicated things within fractions. Every practice problem you could want. You don't actually need to use your book for this. I happen to like your book, but you don't have to use that one. You can use one of these free ones, free or cheap ones. And if you don't want to use any of these three, feel free to just go look up older editions of any intermediate algebra textbook. I don't care how you learn this material. How you learn it is up to you. I just care that you have learned it and can show me that you can do it on a test. That's all I'm looking for. Most older editions are 10 to 20 bucks, something like that. Even one edition back is often only about 20 or $30. OpenStax, all their ebooks are free. If you want a hard copy, they're usually about 40 bucks because they're huge. And that's probably, I imagine $40 is about what it costs them to print it and mail it to you. Yeah, so however you want to learn, I'm good with that. Watch other videos. Have other people help you learn in person. Get tutors, or maybe one of your friends is an engineering major at UCSB and is happy to help you learn math. Go right ahead. Come ask me during my office hours. Watch my videos a couple of times and try the homeworks. I don't care how you learn. Really don't care. Yeah, just learn it. And it's up to you to know that you've got a topic down and that you feel confident that you can do it on a test. I think that's pretty much the last. Oh no, I want to talk about academic honesty. Incompletes, we'll worry about that when the time comes. Mostly don't expect to do an incomplete. They're only for very limited circumstances. Academic honesty, that is to say cheating. For online only classes, it is not surprisingly, it's very easy to cheat, right? If you want to get somebody to do your homework for you, if you manage to get somebody to do your homework for you and turn it in, obviously you can't do that, right? That's missing the entire point of an education. So yeah, you can't do that. This policy right here lists all of the things that are considered cheating at SBCC. It is very lengthy because instead of providing guidelines about what is or isn't cheating, they listed everything in a 100-point list or whatever. Nah, it's probably not 100, probably 50. There you go. it's all it's the official policy. They're written sort of legalese. Here's the requirement as far as I'm concerned. Did you do the work yourself? If you did, it's not cheating. If you learned it from a video on the internet and then you did it yourself, great. Didn't have to be my video. If somebody taught you how to do a particular kind of problem and then you did it and turned in what you did, that's fantastic. That's not cheating. If someone did your problem for you and you wrote it down, you just copied it down and turned it in, you can't do that. You can't just copy, you have to have done the work yourself. Learn however you want, do all the work yourself. That's the requirement. If you have any questions about cheating, please come and ask me rather than being, too scared or whatever that I'm going to punish you too severely. Here's the way I look at my job. My job is to, 1, teach you math, obviously. 2, help you kind of transition into college. And so you've probably seen, I would imagine, those big foam cube pits that someone who is learning a new skateboard trick or a new BMX trick or whatever they'll come zooming down a runway, shoot off a ramp, do a bunch of flips, and then fall into this pit of foam cubes that that keeps them from dying when they miss them while they're learning the trick. That's the way I view SBCC, kind of. I think of us as the foam cube pit of college and life. So if you have any questions, ask me. I'm not out to punish people. If you think, hey, that thing I didn't seem kosher, I need to go find out if what I did was wrong, If you come to me and ask and say, hey, here's this thing I did, is that okay? And it wasn't okay, it's very easy to write one thing off as a, oh, they're just learning, no penalty, just redo it, right? Just do it yourself this time, but you know, no penalty, you can turn it in. The more often I have to have leniency with somebody, the less likely I am inclined to be lenient. So, but just ask up front. You probably won't have more than 1 or 2 questions about what constitutes cheating. If you do, just ask. Just ask him. I'm here to help. Because just, you know, heads up, if you do something like that, if you do something that violates an academic honesty policy at a university, they will sometimes kick you out, and like you lose all your education, or you lose all the value of your education. I lose all the value of your education, but you can't get a degree anymore, which is bad. And then lastly, the one thing I really want to emphasize is how to pass this class. Keep trying. That's really it. That is honestly the number one way to pass the class. There are going to be some topics in the course that you're going to find hard to learn in time, but luckily you will have several opportunities to try them, right? You don't get it on the first try, you can get it on the second try. You don't get it on the second try, you can request a makeup. You don't get it right on that makeup, you can request another makeup. You don't get it right on that makeup, well, you can request a third makeup if you want. You can wait till the final when the topic shows up again. If you don't get it on the final, you can request a last makeup. And if that sounds ridiculous, it's not. Let me tell you a story about one of my favorite students. He was a very nice guy, extremely hardworking, very good student, who ended up with an A in my class. This was not in this algebra class. It was in linear algebra, Math 210. That was the very first time I ever used master grading. And I had a student who the topic was quite easy. I don't know why he had so much trouble with it. He was an A student, but he missed topic 2 on the first test. And then he missed it on the second test. And he missed it on a makeup quiz. And then he missed it on another makeup quiz. And then he missed it on the final. And right after the final, on the very last day of class, the last possible opportunity, he got a third makeup quiz, got it right, and got his A. There are almost always more opportunities right up until the end. So keep trying. Almost everyone who really keeps at it ends up passing the class. If you drop out early, you know, it's just too much work, you can't keep up, and you got to quit, that's the way you don't pass the class. As long as you keep working at it, you'll have so many tries and so much help and so many resources and videos and whatnot. You're going to make it eventually if you just keep going. So that is my number one tip for passing, is keep trying. And let me just remind you that to get a passing grade, so C, right? I know C is not a great grade, but you get 1 star on every topic, that is turning in all the homework, right? If you turn in all the homework and revise it until it's right, and I will help you figure out how you need to revise it, or what you need to do in order to revise it correctly. So there's no, like, if you just keep trying, you will eventually get them all. That's the 1 star, right? That's the 1 star on each topic, and you need 75 total stars to get a C minimum. I don't know why it won't highlight for me. 75 total stars. There are 45 topics. That means that you need at least 30 on tests and or makeups. You can theoretically do up to 25 makeup quizzes. Please don't use that many. I hope you don't need that many. But that means that if you get like half the problems that you're going for on a test each time, you'll probably make it. So this is not that hard a requirement, but you will have to demonstrate mastery to get a star. right? So you can pass the class. If you want a better grade, it'll be a little bit harder, right? You want a B, got to get 1 star in every topic at 90 stars, right? So there's going to be a few topics that you're going to be good at, and you can probably pile up a few extra stars doing that. And that'll give you a little bit of leeway to, when we get to logs, maybe you can't solve log equations, but you were great at fractions, so you got a bonus star to work with. So the point I want to make here, never give up. You want to pass the class, just keep trying. You'll get there eventually. If you're registered with DSPS, you've got some disability or you have accommodations with them. Make sure that you register with them early. I will do my best to accommodate. Well, I will definitely accommodate you to, for whatever accommodations you need. You get extra time on a test or whatever. That's fine. Let me know if there's something I need to do. I've had a few people who've had kind of, custom things that needed to be done. They need extra quiet environments, or they got super anxious with cameras on them, and so we arranged a proctor for them. Right? There's a few things you can do. But yeah, if you're not sure, then talk to DSPS ASAP and get checked out and see if you can get extra time or whatever. Yeah, and all that said, let's go look at the calendar real quick. I think I might have already had it open. I do. So you can see when things are coming up. Is this? Oh, here they are. Right. So test 1 in a week. I'm expecting this to be sort of your introduction to the class, that is say on the first day of school, which is the 28th of June. And so the first test is on the 5th of June. Second test is I'm planning for the 13th. Third test, 23rd, and then the fourth test, August 5th, 3rd, and the finals on the 5th. So here's the idea. The first test has 14 topics on it. And so I'm expecting to do about 2 a day. The first few topics are relatively easy. You'll be able to do some of them without any instruction, I would imagine. And so I think you can do 2 a day to be ready by the 5th. Second test has a little bit harder topics. Second test has operations with polynomials, factoring, and functions and graphs. And some of the stuff gets a little bit harder. Some of it you're going to know how to do already. I imagine you've done factoring before in a previous class, but if you haven't, well, now's your opportunity. But like polynomial arithmetic is pretty easy. You're not going to have too much trouble with that. Functions and graphs, the definition of functions versus relations, you're not going to have too much trouble with that. Evaluating functions, that stuff's not very hard. Graphing by plotting points, that's not too hard either. However, something like finding inverses of functions can be a little bit tricky. So I've tried to afford a couple extra days there. So that's 8 days. There are 12 new topics. So you got to do about a topic and a half per day to get ready for test 2. Test 3 has the hard stuff on it. It has exponential and logarithmic functions and quadratic functions. So you might notice there's only 9 topics here, but these guys, exponentials and logs, are probably the biggest sticking point in general. So I tried to afford a few more days for that so that it's more like 1 a day. I think I give you 10 days to master 9 topics. So if you do 1 a day, you'll get that down in time. And the last one, I believe there's 10 topics on this. Yeah, there's 10 topics. These aren't necessarily that bad. But I tried to give you, what is it, 10 days again? 23rd up to I think it's 11 days. That'd be 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. On the 11th day. So about, again, one topic per day. We've got 45 topics and I think about 42 days, something like that, counting weekends. 6 weeks long, we'd have 42 days. And so doing about 1 topic a day will get you through the class, When I say doing, what I mean is mastering. Right? Master one topic a day and you'll be able to get through the class, and you can definitely do one topic in a day. So that is my, I think, rather long introduction, to this course. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. Our first meeting is going to be, or my first scheduled meeting is going to be 6 to 7 p.m. on June 28th. And so you can come talk to me then if you'd like to meet me. And you can probably come ask me some questions if you want to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, how do I stop sharing? There we go. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. And yeah, I will see you guys hopefully on the 28th.